Hi guys, and welcome back to another video where today we're going to be predicting the scores of week 4 of this 2019-2020 Premier League season. We're sorry this video is coming out a little bit late, but we've only just got back off holiday, and on our travels we saw a couple of stadiums, and see if you can guess them. They're coming up right now. There's the first one. The second one is from the air. So if you know what those stadiums are, let me know in the comment section. Before we get on to this week's predictions though, let's have a look back at how well we got on last week.
So last week I had an awful week. I only had 3 points, which was pretty appalling and no perfect results.
I myself only had 7 points overall, but I did have 2 perfect scores. That's the Leicester away victory against Sheffield United and the 3-1 home win for Liverpool over Arsenal. But overall, yeah, we were both abysmal. Jay Mathias was this week's viewers' contestant, you could say, and Jay came away with just 3 points as well. So overall now, Nathan, you're on 15 points for the season, I'm on 22, and you, the viewers, you're on 13. So hopefully you'll be able to catch up a little bit this week, but last week was really tough. The top scorer for that last week, well, in fact there was 2 of them. First was I'm Your Number One Fan Forever, who had 11 points. Yeah. And Bravo Plays, who had 11 points as well. I think it was featured in week 1 of the viewers' selections. But 11 points, well done to both of you guys. Yeah, this week I'm not going to have a look at the fantasy football table. We're going to leave that into the next Premier League predictions video.
We just don't have enough time today. So.
Not today, we've got a lot to be getting on with anyway. But for now, let's crack on and make the predictions.
Okay, so first up we have the midday fixture on Saturday between Southampton and Man United. Man United losing last time around to Crystal Palace, quite a shock result there, but with their defence you can kind of expect that. They were just all over the place at the back. Southampton last weekend, a very good victory against Brighton, but I just think Man United will be too strong for them up front, especially. Maybe Dan James will get another goal, and I think it'll be 2-1 to Man United.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a tight affair. Southampton, good win last week against Brighton. I think a lot of people, ourselves included, tipped Brighton to win that one, but we all come unstuck. On their Manchester United form up and down a little bit. They do find themselves in 5th position, but I was thinking about going for a home victory in this one, but I had a look at the history of the tie, and Southampton have only beaten Manchester United twice in the last 15 years, so I'm going to plummet for a draw in this one, and I'm going to go for 1-1. Next up, we got the first of the 3 o'clock fixtures on Saturday, and that's against Chelsea, against Sheffield United. Chelsea getting a good, I think it was a 3-2 away victory against Norwich last weekend. Good game by all accounts. Unfortunately, we didn't see much of the highlights as we were away.
And of course, we didn't have Wi-Fi. Well, we had very limited Wi-Fi while we were away as well. £90
we did
for 2 gig.
Nice.
So that a bit expensive.
We did have a little bit of access to Sky Sports though, so we did see some of the highlights. But in this one, Chelsea against Sheffield United, I think overall Chelsea can have a little bit too much for Sheffield United. And I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory to the Blues, and maybe I think Tammy Abraham got a couple of goals last week. Mount as well.
Mason Mount
so I think maybe Abrahams will get a goal in this one. Yeah, 2-1 to the Blues for me.
Well, believe it or not, I think it's going to be a bit closer than that. I think Sheffield United are going to be well up for this one. I think Chris Wilder is going to set them up to win. They have been a bit of a breath of fresh air since coming up along with Norwich as well. I think this will be close, but I just think Chelsea will nick it, and I think it's going to be 1-0 to the Blues. Next up, we got a really difficult one between Palace and Aston Villa. Palace traditionally bad at home, good away. Meanwhile, Aston Villa have had a slow start to the season, 1-1 and lost 2. But I fancy Villa's chances in this one. I think Dean Smith is going to have them up for it, and I think it's going to be a 2-1 victory to the Villains.
Yeah, close one to call this. Last weekend, Crystal Palace beat Manchester United at Old Trafford, and Aston Villa getting their first victory of the season as well. So it's going to be a tight affair. Can't really call it myself, so I'm going to sit on the fence, get some splinters in my bottom, and I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Next on the fixture list, we've got the Foxes, Leicester City against Bournemouth. Leicester last weekend, I think they got a nice little win.
Against Sheffield United.
They did indeed, and I think it was 2-1. I think that was the one I called correctly, in fact.
Jamie Vardy taunting the Sheffield United fans. Things as well.
Yeah, isn't he a Sheffield Wednesday?
He's a Sheffield Wednesday
I thought
fan.
he was, yes. But Bournemouth, yeah, they find themselves in 11th position, haven't been doing too badly. Last weekend, I think it was they lost against Manchester City 3-1. In this one, Leicester have started the season quite well. They find themselves in the Champions League spots, in fact, in 4th position. Haven't lost yet, 2 draws and a victory. And I think it's going to continue with another victory this weekend, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to the Foxes. I think Bournemouth got a few injury issues as well there, so...
Yeah, well, I actually think this is going to be a close one in comparison. Even though they do have a few injuries, I think Eddie Howe's side will be. I think they'll find a way to make a good challenge against Leicester. But I'm going to change my prediction, and I'm going to put a 1-0 victory to the Foxes. Next up, we have Man City versus Brighton. Now, Man City. 2 wins and a draw, of course, with the VAR incident against Tottenham.
Yeah, they should have won that.
Yeah,
VAR are rubbish.
I completely agree with you there. Coming up against a Brighton side, good start to the season, 8th position, 1-1 draw and 1 lost one, but I just think Man City are going to be way too strong for them, and I think it's going to be a 4-0 win at the Etihad.
Yeah, I think it's exactly the same as you. I'm going to go for a 4-0 win to the Citizens in this match. Everyone was tipping, well, a lot of people were tipping Brighton to get a victory or a positive result last week against Southampton. Manchester City look totally dominant in all their matches at the moment, so I can't see anything but a win for the home side in this one. As I said, 4-0 to Manchester City. Next up, we've got Newcastle home against Watford. Newcastle last weekend getting their first victory of the season, surprisingly, against Tottenham Hotspur away at the Tottenham Hotspur ground, or stadium is called, not New White Hart Lane.
Which is a bit appalling, really.
Yeah, but so Magpies carving out a very good win there. Watford still bottom of the table, pointless at the moment. They're going to have to start picking up some points from somewhere. Watford is this weekend to do it. I'm not so sure. I think at home, Newcastle, they don't concede that many goals, and I think they're going to keep a clean sheet, and I'm going to go for a narrow 1-0 victory to the Magpies in this one.
Yeah, I think Newcastle are going to grind out a win at home as well. I think it's going to be 2-1, but I think Watford will definitely score. However, I just think they're going to have a tricky start to the season, to be honest. They had a good start to the season last season, but I think they're going to struggle and then start to pick up. But Watford, known for sacking managers willy-nilly. Personally, I think if Grazia goes, or if you sack Grazia, then you're going to be in a relegation battle. That's my opinion anyway, 100%.
Well, only 3 games gone, they're in a relegation battle at the moment. They've only scored 1 goal in those 3 matches, conceding 7. They've got to start picking up points,
they do.
The Hornets.
So they've got to keep Grazia, that's my thoughts about it, really. But anyway, moving on, next up we got West Ham versus Norwich. This is the last of the 3 o'clocks. Now, Norwich, Pukki on free fire at the moment, scoring all the time. Scored against Chelsea along with Wenda, I think that's his name as well. West Ham looking good on top, looking good as well. 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss as well. I believe they won last week.
They did. They got that 3-1 victory over Watford, didn't they?
They destroyed Watford, yeah. So I think it's going to be a tricky one. There will definitely be goals. It could be 2 Hilaire goals, 2 Pukki goals as well. And I think it's going to be a 2-2 draw.
Yeah, definitely can see Norwich conceding. I think they've conceded 8 goals this season, which is the most out of any team in the division. They've only got that 1 victory, which was that win against Newcastle a couple of weeks ago. They are conceding goals, but they are scoring as well. Pukki, top scorer in the Premier League, I think, along with Sterling.
Yes, Sterling
on 5 goals. So they will score, but I can see West Ham being too strong for them. West Ham, I think in their fixtures, they won last week, they got the draw, and I think they're only, which was against Manchester City, and most teams are going to struggle against Manchester City this week. Looking at their team, they've got some real good talent there, the Hammers, and I think they're going to be too strong and worldly wise for Norwich in this one, and I'm going to go for a 3-1 victory to the Hammers. Next up, we got the 5:30 kick-off on Saturday, late Saturday afternoon, early evening, between Burnley and Liverpool. Now, Liverpool find themselves top of the table, but they have conceded in every single game this season. Okay, there's only been 3 so far. It's going to be a tough place to go, Turf Moor as well, on a Saturday evening. And I think this could be one of those games where they're going to be frustrated against Burnley. Up front for Burnley, Ashley Barnes has been on fire so far this season. He may get another goal in this one. I think it's going to be a tight affair, but I'm actually going to go for a draw in this one. I think I think Liverpool will concede again. I'm going for a 1-1 stalemate.
Really? Well,
Yeah,
believe
I
it or
am.
not,
They'll probably end up with a Liverpool victory, but
Yeah.
I think it will be a draw. I'm going to stick my neck on the line on this one.
That's interesting. Well, believe it or not, I think just Liverpool are just going to straight up overpower Burnley, even though they have had a decent start to the season, and I think it's going to be 3-0. Salah,
3-0.
Mane, Firmino. 3 goals from those.
Yeah, it's how that
three,
Burnley defence copes with the front three of Liverpool.
Exactly. Next up, we've got Everton versus Wolves at 2 o'clock on Sunday. Now, Everton losing last time around to Villa, very unlucky there in my opinion as well. They could have very well had a draw in that one. And then Wolves, 3 draws this season, seem to be drawing every week. And I think it's going to be another draw for them. Not traditionally the best away from home, but I think it'll be a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, this is one of the toughest games to predict on for this weekend. Everton, up and down form really at the moment. Don't really start seasons well, do they? Wolves, 3 draws on the trot, like you said. I think I'm going to go for a draw in this one. I can't see many goals. I'm actually going to go for a 0-0 draw, the only 0-0 draw in the Premier League this weekend.
Interesting.
Final fixture of the weekend, though, is North London derby between Arsenal and Spurs. Both teams sort of in and out of form, really. They do find themselves near the top of the table. Arsenal in 3rd position and Tottenham in 7th. Arsenal losing last weekend, but it was against Liverpool away at Anfield. I think they will bounce back at home against Tottenham. Tottenham, without Eriksen and the team, they're struggling really to create any chances, and when they do, I think they should have had a penalty perhaps last weekend and not really taking their chances. I think Ndombele is injured for this weekend, so that leaves a little bit of a hole in the centre of midfield. So I'm going to go for a narrow victory to Arsenal in this one. I don't think Aubameyang did he score, or Lacazette scored last weekend, so one of them will probably definitely get on the score sheet there. Harry Kane's only scored a couple of goals so far, only in the one game, so he's going to be looking to get on the score sheet as well. Yeah, I'm going to go for an Arsenal victory at home for the North London derby, 2-1.
Well, believe it or not, I think it's going to be a stalemate. Arsenal's leaky defence, and Tottenham's non-existent midfield really in this game. I just think, well, their cons outweigh each other really. So I think it'll be high scoring with Harry Kane more and coming Son along with Pepe, Lacazette and Aubameyang. So I think it's going to be a 2-2 draw.
Power there, isn't there?
Just nothing. Well, in Arsenal's case, nothing at the back, and then in Tottenham's case, nothing in midfield.
And they haven't got that much at the back either.
No, they don't.
Tottenham at the moment struggling.
They do have Alderweireld and Jan Vertonghen, but not too good on the wings.
Is it Walker Peters? Does he play for Tottenham?
Yep, Carl Walker Peters.
Yeah, I think he's injured as well. So.
He's injured. They got rid of Kieran Trippier, even though he had a terrible season.
Ben Davies is there, and Danny Rose, of course.
Yeah, but I just think they're going to struggle at the back, so I think it'll be a narrow 2-2 draw.
Excellent. So that concludes our predictions for week 4 of this 2019-2020 season. As per usual, I'm going to leave a template of these fixtures in the description. All you need to do is copy and paste them into your comments and like. I'm your number 1 fan forever, and Bravo Plays. You can get a shout out in the next video if you get the most number of points. I'm also going to pick up random on probably Friday evening a viewer who's going to represent the viewers as well, and hopefully you get a few more points than your predecessors in the last couple of weeks. But for now, Nathan, is there anything you'd like to add?
No, search my channel link in description.
What about Barry? Demise of Barry.
What can we say about that?
Yeah. EFL, what's going on?
Absolute disgusting, quite frankly. EFL, corrupt organisation. They need to have proper legislation and rules so owners get checked out before they take over clubs. Because Barry's the first one. Bolton, thank God,
they've got
saved.
2 weeks, perhaps.
No, they have now been saved and taken over.
Right. Okay.
If you check up on the news, but if you look at other clubs that have gone the same way, Coventry could be next very well. Blackpool with the Oystons, terrible that was. That was an absolute disgrace where they were banning fans out of nowhere and taking all the money out of the club. They were disgusting. And the EFL, quite frankly, they are an absolute disgrace.
Maybe you should do a rant video on this on your channel.
Maybe I should do a rant video, or you should do one on your channel. But what's your thoughts on it?
Yes, that demise Bury. I'm not sure how many years they've been there. It must be
134, yeah.
Bolton founding members as well, almost going out of business. Yeah, it's great to be back after a relaxing week off. There's no Premier League fixtures next week. Maybe we'll do a roundup video, or even we'll do some predictions on the international fixtures, because I think we'll be going to Wales.
We are going to the Wales game next Friday.
Yeah, and this week, Friday, tomorrow, we're going to go and see Cardiff versus Fulham in the Championship. Will there be a vlog? Will you be vlogging?
There will be a vlog up, and that will probably be out on Saturday night, Sunday morning, depending when I can get it up. But definitely on the weekends.
Fantastic. Okay, for now though, guys, we're going to bid you farewell, and we'll see you all in the next video.
Cheers, guys.